Do you have success ceilings too? Welcome to Tools to Manifest Your Dream Life with myself, Glenyce. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. So the past few months, I have noticed this energy that is best described as a success ceiling. And it's not that it's only been in the past few months. I'm just really starting to recognize it probably my entire life, where I get so far in something, I get so close to the success I'm asking for, and then I stop. And I've never seen it or felt it as a ceiling, like I've got so far and I can't go further. All I know is that stop energy. That's the feeling I'm most familiar with. Now, I've created a lot of success. I'm successful in many ways. And I'm also very aware there's so much success, so much more success that I could be choosing. And when I look at those areas, I can also see where I've stopped. So for one example, losing weight. 5 years ago, I started alternate day fasting, and I did really well for about a year, maybe a little bit less. And I did pretty good for a few years. And then the last probably year, well, actually closer to 2 years, to be honest. It's been while we've been pet and house sitting that I haven't done so well. I'll still do it once in a while. A couple months ago, when we were in Victoria for a couple months, I started up again, like truly alternate day fasting, and even did a 5-day fast in there. I did really, really well. And then for a few weeks, I chose not to. And I was really looking at that because it's not a judgeable offense. It's not the end of the world. It's not even about losing weight, as the majority of my life has been about losing weight. It really is about feeling good and feeling healthy and strong and vibrant. When I alternate day fast, those are the things that are available to me. When I don't, it's different. And especially if I don't for multiple days, weeks, months in a row, I just don't feel as well or as vibrant. The other area that I've been looking at it in is with my business. So as many of you know, I took a digital marketing certificate, and I have been working in other people's businesses behind the scenes, helping them with things, utilizing it. I also have an entire list of ways that I could support people, that I could put out into the world. They're really cool. I'm so excited about them. And yet I've stopped. I have had on my list of things to create is changing up my webpage. So if you go to my homepage, you would see a picture of me like as a manifestation coach and a picture of me as a digital marketer, and you could click on either one. I've got all the ideas, and yet I've stopped. So I've been looking at these things along with multiple other things in my life and just going, what is this? Like truly, what is this? And that was the energy that came up, was this success ceiling. And so stopping when I get to a certain level of success, interesting choice. Again, it's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's just an interesting choice. Now, what is a success ceiling? You might have heard of the financial ceiling, or the glass ceiling, often people will call it, where you allow yourself to have so much money and it's like you hit a ceiling and you stop at that certain amount. And I mean, there is no ceiling, but we've energetically put a ceiling there. So it's like that. It's a success ceiling where you get so far and then you stop yourself. And it could be in one area of your life. It could be, like mine, many areas of our lives. And like success with money, success with relationships, success with health, with joy, with possibilities. I mean, any area. It doesn't have to be just business. If you've ever read Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap, he speaks about it as an upper limit problem. And he describes it as a subconscious safety mechanism that keeps you with what you're familiar with instead of what's actually possible. Our success ceiling can show up in so many different ways. If you've got a business and you've got a big launch coming up and then you procrastinate. If you have a big win in an area of your life and then you sabotage yourself. If you lose momentum after you, say, get promoted or you hit a goal. Maybe you create some really amazing things, but you don't tell anybody about them. Now, a little bit of something with that, because sometimes the people that we tell about the magic is the people that can't receive it. So You don't necessarily have a success ceiling if you don't tell the big magical things, but make sure you're acknowledging them. Make sure you're celebrating them. But if you do have people in your life that can receive them and celebrate with you, make sure you're sharing them. Now, here's the thing. This is not about laziness. This is about your inner thermostat working, doing its job, and keeping you in the familiar, in the safe, in the comfort zone, as opposed to the possibility zone. Now, why would we do this? Why would we have success ceilings in the first place? It's often a mix of like an old identity, like who you were, not necessarily being aware of who you are now. Can also be that unspoken fear of what comes after the success. Do you have more responsibility? Are there going to be more problems you have to handle? You could have some limiting beliefs around like worthiness or deservingness. Your nervous system literally wants to keep you in the familiar. That is its job. And so it's doing its job. And it's our job then to recognize that the familiar has worked in the past and it's not what we're asking for any longer. Now, some signs that you're hitting your ceiling, and let's see how many you get. Let me know in the comments below, or if you're listening via podcast, make sure that you send me a message. I would love to hear how many of these hit home for you. You get close to a big milestone and suddenly you get sick, somebody in your family gets sick, there's something else you have to handle, you get distracted with something else, you notice yourself self-sabotaging or forgetting important steps. You notice yourself procrastinating. When things are going well, you feel oddly anxious. It's like you're waiting for another shoe to drop. You play small. Now, if you said yes to any of those, some of those, or all of those, congratulations, you have found your current ceiling, and awareness is your superpower. If any of this is resonating and you're ready to change it, I invite you to my pop-up class. Manifesting Without Limits, Healing Self-Sabotage at the Source. This is on Tuesday, July 29th at 9 a.m. Mountain. If you're listening to this later and you would like to grab the recording, it of course is available. The links are above or below. If you don't see a link or can't find a link, just reach out and I will get it for you. In the class, I'm going to take you through many different ways to break through the success ceiling. Today, I'm going to share one of those ways, and this is the one that I have found the most success with in my recent choices, and it's really quite fun. What I want you to do is to create a new identity. Who is the version of you that lives above this success ceiling that you've had? How does she think? How does she act? How does she receive? And just try that identity on. Maybe you're going to go to dinner with some friends. Just make a conscious effort to be that you, the one that lives above all of those success ceilings at that dinner. How are you going to share about your day, about what's going on in your life? What is that going to look like? How are you going to dress up? How are you going to show up? How are you going to be? How are you going to receive from everybody else at that dinner and everything involved with that dinner? Really look at what that might be for you, because the person, the who you are, the identity of you, the who you be, that's above those success ceilings, I can guarantee that she is incredibly magical, incredibly potent, and lives at a different level than you've maybe never even considered. But I guarantee it's possible. So once again, I invite you to the upcoming class where we can break through these success ceilings and truly live and receive beyond what has never been possible before. Because remember, you are allowed to want more. You are allowed to have more. And you are allowed to live beyond your wildest dreams as if by magic. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to chatting again next week.